Revising, rewriting, and editing are important steps in the writing process. This online lecture will cover revising and rewriting. At the conclusion of this module, you will have the knowledge needed to complete each objective on this screen. It is important to know the difference between these three activities before you can use each activity effectively in your own writing. A poorly edited document reflects negatively on a writer. Revising means you're improving the content and the design of the document, providing edits for conciseness, clarity, tone, and style. Rewriting means that you're altering a document or a piece of text to serve another purpose or a different audience. And then editing means that you are changing the document using proofreading marks to meet requirements of correctness in grammar, spelling, punctuation, format, style, and the way the material is presented and printed for your audience. Revision is a part of the problem-solving approach because you must ask yourself these questions as you write. When you're editing a document for clarity, you want to make sure you or the writer uses pronouns clearly, uses modifiers clearly, deletes too much information in sentences, clarifies ambiguous statements, uses active and passive voice appropriately, and eliminates numerous modifying nouns. Let's take a look at a few examples of how we can clarify our writing. This sentence could be interpreted differently by different audiences. Here is one way I revised the sentence to more accurately present the information. It skewed salinity readings that led to inaccurate predictions and must be reassessed. So the researcher must reassess the skewed salinity readings. The next sentence is written in the passive voice. Let's consider which of the next few sentences should be revised for clarity and which could remain as they are in order to emphasize certain information without compromising clarity. In this sentence, we can more clearly identify the subject and say the IT division began the e-construction projects. We want to avoid passive voice, which is typically with a to be verb and a past tense verb. And the subject of this sentence is followed by the word by. Here's another sentence written in the passive voice. The problems in development were solved just before redesign began. This sentence is correct. However, we could eliminate an unnecessary word by deleting just. We did not change the context of this sentence, but we did eliminate an unnecessary word. In this example, we also use passive voice. We can change this sentence one of two ways. We could say, since semiconductor use is limited, developments in nanotechnology created submicron lithography. Or we could say, limited semiconductor use has helped in the development of submicron lithography from nanotechnology. Either of these examples are written in past tense, but not passive voice. We also want to make sure that we write concisely. So ways that we can do that are to cut empty phrases by avoiding unnecessary modifiers, reducing descriptive clauses, avoiding strings of prepositional phrases, avoiding nominalizations, or avoiding excessive information. Let's take a look at a few examples on how we can be more concise in our writing. Here is an example that demonstrates the benefits of putting actions into verbs, avoiding strings of prepositional phrases, and choosing clear subjects. We can edit this sentence by saying, although others started earlier, we succeeded because we presented our study more effectively. Here's an example that illustrates an unnecessary modifier. Writers sometimes clog their sentences with unnecessary words or phrases that modify the meaning of a noun, but don't actually add to the meaning of the sentences. These words are often used as filler and can easily be eliminated. We can eliminate the word's particular type of and still have a sentence that does not change the meaning. Now our sentence is, any dessert is fine with me. Here is an example that changes unnecessary that, who, and which clauses into phrases. We have a who clause. The who clause is who are interested in the job. We can eliminate this and just say all job applicants must send a cover letter and resume. The last example shows how to avoid dummy subjects. Dummy subjects start sentences with it or their and provide the real subject after the verb. In most cases, concise sentences can be created by eliminating the dummy subject and making the noun the subject of the sentence. We could eliminate it is the and make the governor the subject and say the governor signs or vetoes bills. And lastly, we're going to talk about ways to rewrite documents. Rewriting a document requires a writer to make substantial changes. It is easier to rewrite a complex document to create a simple document. Writers may rewrite a document to meet the needs of a new audience. And when writing for a new audience, a writer also considers a new purpose. Writers address ethical concerns when considering what information to include or exclude in the revised document.